Listen to me. You can only talk about your accomplishments around people who understand success. Sometimes you got to give your testimony to help people understand that success is accessible to anybody. Just because I get on here and I'm saying what I'm saying. Anybody who been following me know I do not do no bragging. I still shave my own head, homie. I don't go to the barber. I don't never get on here fresh. I don't never pop it. I don't never show. I don't never flex. You have never seen me show nothing I've bought. Clothes, shoes, chains. I don't do none of that. People, I get on here and I've been doing the same thing for 4 years straight. I ain't had to change nothing. The minute I get on here and I try to encourage people and say something, people kill me. Man, don't be bragging. This ain't bragging, homie. I'm one of the most grateful human beings you will ever see or understand, my guy. I'm humble as ever. I'm just letting you know, for the people who get on here talking about Kylie Pitt, I done 5 months, 5 days because I broke in somebody's house. I did 10 months because we were still a car. I did a year for attempted murder. Then I done 10. Man, for listen to me, I don't even want to get into all of that. But for the last year, I've been averaging over $250,000 on YouTube alone. We don't want to talk about book sales, merch, and what I make just off making video. People on here talking about Kylie Pitts bought a truck and a house. Who cares? I lived out my dreams. People, let me tell y'all something about a blessing. Let me tell you something. It's so many of us who have been struggling all of our life. If we came into some money, the first thing we'll try to run to is stability. And the stability, a lot of time, what you ain't gonna realize is it's gonna cripple you because you're gonna be so scared to live out the calling that's on your life. The minute I got access to the money, I said, man, I ain't only gonna change mine, I'm gonna change everybody's life around me. So I understood that I needed to put the money to work versus saying, I'm gonna take $250,000 and I'm gonna go pay and buy a house or $300,000 and go buy a house and go buy a car that I ain't gonna never have a car no, just cause if anything go wrong, it's already paid for. The reason you doing it because you operating out of fear and not out of faith. See, me, what I understood was I'm gonna take this bread and if I have to jack it off in order to blow up, that's what's gonna happen. I don't believe in going and trying to hide up under a rock by getting stable, because a lot of people, that's what you want to do. You want to get stable and so you can get comfortable, and then you ain't gonna be who he called you to be. I'm cool with being uncomfortable. I'm cool with continuing to grind. I'm cool with continuing to build. I'm cool with continuing to push and push and push. If it come, it come. But one thing I understand, a lot of time, them chances only come a few times in your life, maybe 3 times at the most. The first time it'll probably come, you ain't had no experience, you blow it. The second time, you might realize you had the wrong people around you or you didn't have a plan. That third time, listen to me, if you jack it out, I promise you, it's gonna be hard to get it back and do it again. It's gonna be hard to get it back and do it again. Because listen to me, I said, man, listen, I might not never come into this opportunity again. I done 10 years in prison. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I got out of prison, guess what everybody said? Go get you a job, get you a little apartment, boom, boom. I said, man, I'm not going to get no job, man. If I do, I'm going in, I'm gonna go get me a couple of checks. I'm gonna do what I need to do, because I ain't no way you gonna tell me to go be a slave. You had a job for 10 years. Since I was gone, I come home and majority of y'all in the same predicament. This ain't me casting judgment. This ain't me being prideful. This ain't me having ego. This is me breaking them chains off of my mind. This is me breaking them blinders off of my eyes. This is me flushing out everything that they taught me that they thought was right. This is me flushing this out and saying, no, I believe in the Creator. I am not afraid. I am not scared. And I'm going to go out here and get it. You're not going to tell me that I'm going to just have to go and work at these factories or these places who overworking you and underpaying you, and you think you're going to have the ability to get up? You think you gonna ever get in a position to get up that you ain't gonna never be able to save? The minute something go wrong with your car or your child needs something, you gotta go back in there and work double overtime because now you trying to catch up again. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I say that in the most apologetic way. No judgment on anybody who chooses. If you want to go to work and that's your thing, do what you do. But I refuse to do that. And then let me tell you this right here. Here go another thing. People will say, well, you got lucky or you were just, man, listen to me. I went 3 years straight trying to figure out what I was going to do, how I was going to do it. I done 10 years. And people still don't understand when I tell them, bro, I tried so many things. I did go to work. And every time I did, I just went to save up enough money so I could go out and try something. Every time that didn't work, I said, guess what? The job is going to always be there. I tell people that all the time. You scared to move away because you so comfortable being around family because of maybe if you need a babysitter, your cousin them, or watch your child or something, or if something happened, you got family members there. I said, man, listen to me. Jobs is everywhere. You can pick up right now if you want to and go somewhere. I promise you, jobs is everywhere. And then the Most High said he a father to the fatherless. I promise you, when you go to the job, if you pack up and move right now, like it's been on your spirit, I promise you, the Most High put family around you anywhere you go in this country. And they might not be your blood related relatives. They might not be your cousins that you grew up with. But I promise you, if you pack up and move, it's going to be a job in whatever city or state you go. And it's going to be people you're going to meet on the job. It's going to be people you're going to meet out. It's going to be people that's going to, and I'm going to tell you something else. Strangers treat you way better than people that you know. Strangers will treat you way better than people that you know personally. I promise you that. Listen to me. When that stuff happened on TikTok 3.5 years ago, I had just got out of a relationship that the Most High had been telling me to get out of. I was in it for 2 years. I snatched. It was a force. He had to force me out of a situation. Because it's so many people who don't even realize the Most High done tried to force you out of that situation. You kept running back to it. You keep running back to it. You keep running back to it. And you wonder why your blessings ain't coming. You attached to something he done tried so many times to tell you. You ain't gonna never elevate as long as you stay attached to it. It's frustration over there. They ain't encouraging you over there. They not pouring into you over there. It's brokenness over there. It's all kinds of confusion over there. It's all kinds of hurt over there. It's all kinds of y'all bumping heads over there. And you keep trying and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And now the Most High got to forcefully remove you from something. When I got removed, listen to me. When I got removed from man, this is a true story, bro. When I removed myself from what the Most High said to remove myself from, it was not 30 days. It might have been 3 weeks. It probably wasn't even 21 days. It might have been 19, 20 going on 3 weeks. I literally went to work. I went to work because I left the relationship. I went to the job and said, I'm going to be here for like 60 days. I'm going to save this money. I'm going to get back on the road with my books. Listen to me. I met this girl. I don't know. She knew who I was. She said, you need to start telling your story on TikTok. I said, man, I ain't doing TikTok. People on there dancing and stuff. I hadn't even had the app on my phone. The second time I seen her, she took my phone and downloaded the app. She said, you didn't start doing that yet? I said, no. She said, let me see your phone. Just download the app. I downloaded the app. The third time she seen me, she said, why you ain't made no video? I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I put up 2 or 3 videos that was in my phone, had nothing to do with my story. Nothing at all. I put up a music video and some of me doing inspiration of me doing ministry. I finally was like, I'm going to do it. I did the escape story. Sitting in the projects in my sister's room, almost the size of that cell that I was in for 10 years. I did the video, put the phone down, and went to sleep. I woke up. I went from selling like 40 books a month. I was selling like 40 books a month. I went to sleep and woke up and had over 250,000 views on a video. When I seen the views, I noticed the notification from my website had went crazy. I looked at my website notification. I sold over 100 something books. I can't remember, but I knew it was over. I want to say it was like 250. In a period of probably 3-4 hours of sleep. This is what I done. I'm fresh out of my sleep. Let me tell you how good God is. I'm fresh out of my sleep. I went from selling 40 books a month, leaving a situation, working at a job that I knew I wasn't going to be there. I went to sleep, woke up, 250 orders at $20 a pop. I was like this, yo. And it was only on part one. It was only part one of the story. I went in my sister's room. I said, look at this. She was like, I didn't even have enough books to ship. I had to order some more books. By the time I started doing all the other parts, listen to me, let me tell you something. By the time I started doing all the other parts, it wasn't another 30 days when I had the opportunity to come to Dallas. I ain't tell nobody. I didn't call my mama. Only person that knew was my daughter, and the only reason my sister knew was because I lived there. I wasn't finna let nobody talk me out of my blessing. I wasn't finna let nobody talk me out of what I was finna do. I wasn't finna let nobody tell me, you don't know nobody out there, you got to be careful. I wasn't finna let nobody tell me, well, it might be, I wasn't finna let nobody put nothing in my ear. I went to my sister's house, packed up all my clothes, put as much as I could in the car, drove 10.5 hours to Dallas, never been out here a day in my life. I've been out here going on 4 years. I was in a series last year, in an 8-episode series playing a bounty hunter. Listen, man, I just got through shooting my own 6-episode series, just got approved for Tubi and Amazon Prime. Listen to me. You see, I did the 85 South show, right? I just talked to Cam Newton a couple weeks ago. I'm waiting to see how this goes. It's so much that I can go into saying, and people want to get on here and say, Callie Pitts brought a house and a car. See, you think this small when it comes to a blessing. When the money came, listen to me, when the money came, nothing in my spirit said, go and just get secure and be okay. None of that. None of that. Everything in my spirit said, be everything he called me to be and create enough to where it be fruitful. Be fruitful. Do everything I called you to be able to touch every life you supposed to touch and be able to break bread with everybody that need it. I said, nothing in my spirit said, go and get secure. Do you know how many people I talk to when they talk about their finances and what they doing, it's all about them listen to what I'm saying. It's all about them being secure. It's all about them. It ain't never kingdom. It ain't never kingdom. If you get on here, if you've been watching me over the last if you've been watching me over the last 8 years, I have never got away from ministry. I've got on here and cut up here and there, had my little toxic moments, cut up, do what I wanted to do every now and then, got beside myself. But you've never seen me get away from him. You've never seen me just go months without talking about the Most High. You never seen me get on here and go months without talking about spirituality and talking about this scripture. You've never seen me do it. He says, seek ye first my kingdom and righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. They talking about Callie Pitts, a house and a car. I've watched every prayer I've ever prayed manifest into my life. I've watched messages for years and years and years of people saying, keep going. I've watched people continue to tell me, I appreciate it. I've watched the Most High move into my life when he said, only thing you need is a mustard seed of faith. He seek ye first my kingdom and my righteousness and all things. And listen to me, man, listen to me. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. I seen it with my own eyes. You tell me a house at what? I've lived out my dreams. Literally, every single one of them. Lived out my dreams. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. And then guess what? I'm just now getting started. I'm just now getting started. And then guess what else? I ain't had to compromise who I am Literally, I could get on here and be vulnerable. I could tell you what I got going on. I have no secrets to hide because I've wronged no man. I get on here and I've been the same me since I've been on here. I'm me. I ain't had to switch up nothing. I ain't had to switch up nothing. It's still doing what it do. It's still doing what it do. You probably attached to something that you ain't supposed to be attached to. Your disobedience is what's affecting your blessing. And I know a lot of y'all probably say, well, it's theoretical, because a lot of people try to cope with situations in their mind and try to come up with excuses as to why certain things ain't working. But the truth of the matter is, certain things or certain environments or atmospheres that you involved in, they do affect your creativity. They do affect who you are as far as your purpose in this world. They do affect your mindset, how you view things, your time. Most importantly, your time. It affects your time. You giving your time to something or somebody that don't supposed to be having it. And then you wonder why you ain't able to feed what their calling is deep down in you. You ain't able to feed it. Listen to me. I've never did story time in my life. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. I've never did a story time in my life. I never done it in prison. If you meet anybody that I was locked up with in prison or before I went, they'll never say, man, dude used to sit around and tell stories. Never. Guess what? I would have never knew it had I not detached myself and went somewhere and that girl said, you need to start telling your stories. I was like, what? I had never did it. I had to detach myself from an environment and an atmosphere and somebody that I would have never heard it. You don't even, listen to me, you don't even know what he trying to, you ain't even gonna get the message he trying to send you. Let me tell you something. You gotta pay attention to where the seeds are falling, because where the seeds fall is where you're gonna be able to see what's being nurtured. Because he said one fall on good ground, one fall amongst the thorns. And when he explained all of them, the one that fall on the good ground is some 10, some 100, some 10, some 20, some 100-fold, however it was. Your seeds ain't falling on good ground. I'll prove it to you. It ain't nobody on this live that has not got a form of confirmation, whether it been on his internet, a video you seen, whether it been to somebody who done came into your life. I listen to people all the time who say there was confirmation. In your confirmation, what you didn't do is get in position. Because when you don't get in position, what's going to happen is it was enough to make you feel hopeful. It was enough to make you feel good. It was enough for you to feel that you do have some kind of connection. And then what you do is you get around dream killers. You get around people who are negative. You get around people who don't tell you to go for it. You get around people who drown out what it was that you heard. Even if it was a dream, it's a lot of dreamers on here, I bet you. You've woke up out of dreams, went somewhere and told somebody, I had a dream. I was going to be the first of the family this. I was going to boom, 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 boom this. And then you watch people. You done became the person that like to relay information just so you can run to somebody else and say, I knew that they were hating and I told such and such. You should have seen they wasn't even happy for me. But you never put yourself in position to do what it is that you said you heard him tell you. He said, your lips is far. He said, you worship me with your lips, but your heart is far from me. It's a lot of people right now, you done heard him speak. You done saw his hand in your life, and you still in a toxic environment. You won't remove yourself from that person. You rather call it a soul tie. He said the spirit is willing. He said the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. You cool with whatever you want to call it. It's a soul tie. But then when it comes to your intuition and your discernment, when it's time to gossip, people that you read that you thought was a hater, oh, you so strong in that area. You so strong when it come to, I knew they were hating. You should have seen the look on her. I discern them spirits. I know them spirits. But you ain't strong enough to walk away from the very thing that's probably holding you back from you for you to succeed in life. You ain't strong enough for that. You didn't discern that. Your intuition didn't go off of that. You just rather just continue. No. I ain't scared. Listen to me. That's one thing I know for a fact. Listen to me. I ain't scared. I'm not scared to tell these people no. I'm not scared to tell these people you not finna keep using me. I'm not scared to walk away from nothing that I know that does not have that's not gonna reciprocate what I have for I'm not afraid of that. I don't care who it is, because I know for a fact, as long as I'm connected to him, he gonna continue to provide. If you come into my life and you are not reciprocating what I know that's coming to the table, you will roll. You will go. Point blank, period. It ain't no, what? He said, you casting your pearls before swine. That's what you doing. You casting your pearls before swine. The enemy know when you blessed. The enemy know how to distract you. The enemy crafty. He got tactics. The enemy know, oh, you having a great old time. I'm gonna send people around you that boom, 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 and then next thing you know, they done about sucked you dry. You gotta be strong. You gotta be strong. You gotta know when to say no. You gotta know when to say no. You gotta know when to put your eye. He said, set your things on things above, not on things on this earth. You got to stay focused. Man, these last couple of days, I'm gonna confess this. My prayer life ain't been as strong as I know it was at one point in time. My to read ain't as strong as it used to be at one point in time. The last few days, I've been making it my mission to make sure I get on my knees. I've been making it my mission to make sure I get on my knees. Excuse me. Because I can also sense seasons. I've paid attention to patterns. Listen, I paid attention to patterns of the king in my life. I know when it's time to pump the brakes, when some elevation is about to come and I need to clear out some things. I've seen it. I'm in that season again. I'm in that season where you need to come down. You need to get focused. You need to be able to hear me. You don't need to let your flesh be controlling you, and you don't need to be letting your emotions control you. You don't need to be letting what people's other opinion help make decisions. You need to make sound decisions based on that word. You need to make sound decisions when it comes to the people in your life, when it comes to the opportunities in your life. So I know I need to get grounded. Discipline is one of the hardest things when it comes to your spiritual journey, because that flesh, you got to train it. It's just like working out. That is one of the best examples you can watch. People want to be fit, physically fit, but to get your mind to line up with your spirit and your heart to work out is difficult. And then knowing that, that's how I treat that spiritual journey. If I'm tired, if I know I don't want to do it, I'll go ahead and do it. I just started hold on. When I first went on this journey, when I used to read and I used to study, these was my two. So I go back to how it started. I got my word. I started taking my notes. Have I done it every day yet? No. But has it been on my mind? Yes. So I made sure I started. A lot of people won't even start. You gotta start. And then I just keep reminding myself, and I'll be hard on myself until I create the habit. Because when you create the habit, then you'll keep going. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. That's what it's been this whole time. I'm not scared. I'm never alone. Listen to me. You're never alone. That's what you need to understand. If you connected to him, you are never alone. He gonna send who need to be sent. You're gonna be where you need to be. You just have to embrace that and have that mustard seed of faith and believe. If you don't believe, before the king done miracles, before he did anything, if you go read the scripture in the pattern, he asked them, do you believe I could do it? So you have to believe you're not going to be alone. You have to believe he going to put the right people in your life. You have to believe that whatever that opportunity is that you waiting for, you have to believe that it's going to come, that it's going to manifest itself. You have to believe that, because if you don't, your spirit, your behavior, and your actions have to line up with your prayer. Listen, your behavior and your actions have to line up with your prayer. Faith without works is dead. It's a lot of people who praying and they want to treat the Most High like a genie and as if he's going to do everything in your life. When you send the prayer up, you do not go and put the work in for him to do. He said, draw near to me, I'll draw near to you. You don't even do nothing for him to work with. You don't do nothing for him to work with. I don't know half of these. I got a whole team. Like literally, like if I just gave you the process of how certain things worked in this last year or two, like it's insane. It's scary. I heard people tell me, man, it's beautiful to watch how God just move and do stuff in your life. Faith without works is dead. I wake up faithful. I wake up ready to work my faith. He said his word don't turn back to him void. I'm gonna get up and do what he told me to do to make sure he ain't a lie. I ain't saying try to prove him to be a lie, but you have a reason to do something. And if he ain't, I ain't seen him lie to me yet. I ain't seen it. I ain't seen him lie to me yet. I'm healthy. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you another thing they say. Well, you gotta need to get you a job so you can have your benefits and this and that. Man, I'm believing God. I'm believing for God to keep me healthy while we do kingdom business. When it's time for that, if I need to afford it out of my pocket, he'll make sure I afford it out of my pocket. If I need to create the business and then buy the insurance for me, then that's cool. But what you ain't gonna do is convince me to go and be a slave and go and work and do what you doing when them folks is over at the reason you need the benefits is because they the ones who are unaliving you in there. You the one in there breathing them chemicals. You the one in pain. You the one back hurting. You the one ready to sue for compensation because them folks in there using you in a way that you wasn't even created. You wasn't even created to be used. Don't you tell me to go in there and sniff them chemicals, huh? Don't tell. No, that's why you need the insurance because they know they gonna do it to you. And then you go in there for 30 years and then by the time you get out of there, your body don't even work the way it need to work for you to enjoy your life. Don't tell me to go in there and breathe them chemicals. Now, that's why they gave you. That's why they charged you for that insurance. Because they know you're going to need to use it on the behalf of how they finna work you to death in there. Not me. Don't tell me to go in there. I'm not going in there with you. And I don't know, boy. Do you know how big this world is? Do you know how much it is to see? Do you know how much it is to see? Do you know how much it is to see? Huh? Do you know how much? Listen. It's a pain. What's up, Mika? It's painful because for one in our community, there's a lot of gatekeepers. Listen. Mika just made me think of this. Mika, that's my homie. That's my homie. She probably one of the most trusted people I've met out here in Dallas. If y'all ain't following Mika, go follow Mika. I know a lot of people who work hard who ain't got to the place where I'm at. I've been studying pride because I don't never want to come off prideful about what I've been allowed to build. I don't never want to come off as if I don't understand the person who's still trying to work and get to that point. I don't ever want to come off harsh as if I'm making it like I'm not grateful because of, there she go right there. Because I'm not grateful for what he's allowed me to do and have. It's a lot of gatekeepers in this world who won't give you the information. I'm gonna start doing courses for free. I'm gonna start teaching them for free. Because I know a lot of hardworking people. Mika, one of them. I've watched Mika do what she do and be consistent on social media for the last 2 years. I've watched it. You know what I'm saying? Mika, you've always been one of, like I told you, my homie, when I texted you and checked on you, was like, I ain't know we was at, like, you my homie. Like, the first time I met you, you know what I'm saying? I knew you was a genuine person off the top when I met you. I don't know why it's on my heart. I feel like something is about to come through in your life. I don't know what it is, because I feel a little emotional. I feel like something is about to come through, whatever it is that you've been at. I ain't hearing nothing specific. I just feel that about you. But it's a lot of people I know I work hard for and do what I do that ain't even my family. That if it happened, whatever I seen in them, I would do anything in my power to pour it into them for them to have it. You one of them. I worked hard on this series on traps, and in the back of my mind, I just know, I said, when it hit, I'm gonna make sure everybody that was attached to me have whatever it is they want to have and be able to do whatever it is they want to do. Because I understand when I freely give, because it was freely given to me. I come home after 10 years. Listen, I come home after 10 years. I had to wear the same outfit. I had 10 to 11 outfits I wore for 365 days. I had 2 pairs of shoes. Nobody gave me game. Nobody told me how to work social media. Nobody told me how to do marketing. Nobody told me how to budget and how to be financially literate. Nobody could give me this information. Sometimes I had to step out of myself and understand that a lot of these people have not been taught neither. A lot of these people just didn't have the game to give me. I said, I'm going to quit acting as if I'm the victim of people who was also victimized, that because it's been passed down generation after generation after generation. It's a lot of y'all who are pointing the finger at somebody who was also a victim. It's time to go ahead and turn that loose and understand who you are and acknowledge the place that you are in life, and realize that you might have to do it yourself. When I came to understand, I can't keep blaming my mama. My mama was a victim. I can't blame my granny, because guess what? My granny was a victim. I can't keep blaming all of them people. All of us was victims. They passed it down to me. Of course, at one point in time when I was a child, I thought as a child. When I came into myself and understood, listen to me, I put away with childish things. And that's to quit blaming them people that I know was also victimized. Them people don't have financial literacy. Them people don't understand business. They've never owned a business. I don't know why it is that we expect people to give us business advice that have never ran a business. I don't know why you expect people to teach you how to go about getting an LLC and budgeting your money when they have never done it. I don't know why you expect people to show you how to do these things when they are just as well as victims as you. If you don't understand, you have to get in rooms that make you uncomfortable in order for you to get that information. You will never have it. You will keep on complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. You're going to have to walk around in them people that make you uncomfortable. You're going to have to ask questions where in the back of your mind trying to tell you don't ask, because you want to feel like you don't want to feel like it's a dumb question, and you don't want to feel like you don't know. But I'm going to tell you something. It ain't no such thing as a dumb question. It ain't nowhere I'm going to go right now. I don't care who it is. If I didn't understand what they said, I'm going to ask what it was. If they say a word that I feel I need to add to my vocabulary and I didn't know what it was, I'm going to say, what that mean? Because I've come to understand that I was a victim, that it wasn't people there to give it to me. So at this point right now, I'm going to suck up every piece of game that I can get. And if I walk away and you feel like, I can't even believe, guess what? I don't care, because I came and got what it was I needed for me to continue on in my journey. I understood. Listen, let me tell you something about being, I'm going to tell you something about being, he said he was the sacrificial lamb. What people don't understand is when you come into ministry, guess what? Your life is no longer yours. Your life is for the will of the Most High. Meaning you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to make certain compromises, not just for you. Not just for you. Go pay attention to King Solomon's prayer. King Solomon's prayer, when he blessed me, said, I'm going to give you what you asked for and everything else. He said, how is it, what I need to do, give me the understanding, give me the instructions, give me the guidance, give me the wisdom to be able to lead your people. And what you have to understand when you ask him for that wisdom, when you ask him for that knowledge, when you ask him for the instruction to lead his people, you also have to understand that that's going to come with removing yourself, because it's no longer about you. You're going to have to take hits. You're going to have to allow people to talk about you. You're going to have to go into the most uncomfortable places so you can learn what it is that you need to learn in order to bring back to his people. I have understood that I'm okay with going. Joseph went through it. Joseph, listen to me, when my man went through it and went through everything he had to go through, a lot of them people that, because he was sacrificed. He didn't ask for that. I come to understand that. I come to understand being molested by a family member, being in the cell with my daddy for all of that time, being in prison for 10 years, being in the cell with my brother. I come to understand being in the, listen to me, no parts of me wants to justify that, to say that he chose that for me. No parts of me wants to justify that he chose that path for me, none. But I have to understand, if I believe in him, I'm going to have to believe that there's a spirit that's evil working in this world too. The same reason why he said what he meant for evil, he turned it and he used it for good. Now, he said, no weapon for, I'm still alive, I'm still healthy. I'm still alive and I'm still healthy, and I'm watching him provide, watching him be my shelter. I've watched him be my refuge. I went through hell and back, and listen to me. At this point right now, everything that I got in me, it was freely given. I'm gonna freely give it. If I get on here and talk, I promise you, I'm doing it because I know listen to me. I'm doing it because I know he done put me in the position, put me around the people. I've watched YouTube, I've watched TikTok. I know the information was freely given to me. Why would I get on here and try to charge your lights out? When I finished the series, I talked to several people. Let me tell you about gatekeepers in the black community, heavy. When I finished up the series, I talked to several people that got films on YouTube. On Tubi. A lot of these people wanted to do distribution deals with me. 80-20. I'm going to give you 80. We need 20% for either 1 year or 2 year. I talked to this brother named Heat, man. Shout out to Heat. Man, I'm forever grateful for him. Forever. He said, brother, go to Film Hub, boom, boom, do this, do. I did it. Brother didn't charge me a dime. 45 days later, I was approved for Tubi. I said, see what I'm saying? The information was freely given. How in the world do I take what was freely given to me and somebody that I see going through the process and not explain it to them? It ain't no way I could do it. It ain't no way I could do it. Before I came home, when I was pushing my book, right? When I was pushing my book, I'm 2 months from going home. Let me tell you how good God is, man. I'm 2 months from going home. I had already wrote 3 books. I didn't know how I was going to market them. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I'm on a cell phone sitting on Facebook strolling. I seen this guy, man, Keith Bell. R.I.P. Keith Bell, man. Listen what I'm going to tell you. I'm strolling Facebook. I see a guy named Keith Bell. He traveling the world in malls selling his book. And listen, shout out to, man, listen. I see him traveling the mall, selling his book. I said, that's what I'm going to do. The information was freely given. I text this man on Messenger, sitting in a cell in prison. He hit me back. Bro, this is what you need to do. Boom, boom, boom. Go to the leasing office, tell him this, boom, 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 boom. He gave me the whole game for free. How I end up getting my publisher, I was sitting in the cell with my daddy. My daddy had wrote a book. He gave me his publishing information. Guess what else he told me? This how you get your ISBN. This how you get your copyright. This how you get your cover. The whole process was given to me freely. It was given to me freely. And I still prospered. What I look like charging somebody $1,000, $1,500 to give them some game that was gave to me for free. That's why I tell people, man, you want to learn how to write a book? I got a course online, right? It's $5. I just charge them, it's $5. It's a whole course, probably over an hour. And it's just really me on it. But why in the world would I try to bust your head for the game? It ain't no sense in me doing that. The whole game was given to me freely. Everything that I've learned. So it ain't no way if you call me, if you done hit me for some information, if it's people that get on here right now that's done DM me and said, Man, HOT, I need to, if everybody showed they DM that hit me, hundreds of people, I've never said, send me $50, send me $100, never. I'd send them my number, here, call me, sit on the phone, hours, here, boom, 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 boom. Because it don't make sense. He done gave me the game. Now, I don't just let people eat up my time, but if you hit me and I'm so happy and I'm free, I'm gonna get a game for free. It was gay to me. Man, my life been, I want you to know, I don't know who this for, man. I really don't. I want you to know that you can be that person that you wondering why it ain't working yet. You can be that person that you see. You see that? I know that vision you see. I know how it feels. I see it every day, still to this day. I still know it's so much more I can do. It's so much more I can accomplish. I still know. I don't know what it is that you see, but I'm telling you, it will work. But I know it get hard. I know it get frustrating. I know you feel like you don't have the people that you need. Well, listen, I promise you, it's going to take hard work and dedication. Don't nothing come into this life. Anything that's supposed to be yours, I promise you, it ain't going to come easy. It's pain and purpose. You have to understand that. When I look back at my journey and I understand all the things that I had to go through, all the things that I endured, it's painful. But you got to remove that victim mentality. That vision that you see, I promise you it can happen. But I promise you, you're going to have to put that work in. I get up every day, sometimes it's painful. My brother homeless right now. Listen to me. My brother homeless right now, strung out on drugs, and everybody feel like I'm the one supposed to go and save him. He ain't my assignment. Do you think that's easy for me to say? Nah, it's not easy for me to say. But I know for a fact that the Most High, and I know the enemy sitting right here. I know the Most High sitting right here. The enemy are the people that get in my ear and they feel like, man, you left your brother, man. You need to do this and you need to do that. He ain't my assignment. I love him to death. I love him to death. Listen to me. My granny and all the other people, a lot of people that I'm connected to, they still working in the places that they was working in. They still doing what the same thing that they were doing. And get what? I understand that they ain't my assignment. Because I had to break that chain off of me. I had to take that out. I had to take that off my eye. They fate ain't mine. They fate is not mine. I want it different. And if I want it different, I understood I'm gonna have to go and get it. And if I got to go by myself, I'm going to go by myself. And guess what? Then that's what it's been. I got people that I know love me dearly that I can call right now that'll treat me better than family. Not saying that family treat me any kind of way. I'm saying that on the strength of he gonna protect you. He gonna guide you. He gonna lead you. When he say he your refuge, I promise you he'll give you refuge. When he say he gonna be your protection, I promise you he gonna give you protection. When Yeshua was sitting in that, when he was sitting in there and he said, who is my mom and my brother? And he said, whoever does the will of my other father is my mother and my brother. Listen to me. When you connected to kingdom people, I promise you, you got family around you. I understood that. If the Most High told me right now, and I just got this place, if I go to sleep tonight and I had a dream and the Most High said, pack up, I need you to go to Arizona. If in the morning, next time I go live, I'm gonna be in Arizona. I ain't gonna ask no questions. Listen, I'm not gonna ask no questions. I'm not gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna go ask, hey, I had a dream. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Because I done seen him manifest himself in my life in a way where I'm forever in debt. I'm forever in debt. I'm forever in debt. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Not saying that I want to break anybody's heart. But what I will do, he said, listen, we the salt of this earth. He said, let your light shine so that they may glorify him who is in heaven. What I've come to understand is sometimes even when you hurting people's feelings, you are still being a vessel. You are still watering. You are still planting. You are still being a fisherman. Because what you have to understand is eventually they going to understand because it's going to come back around to them and they going to know you chose him. Yeah, I'm choosing him. I'm choosing him. We're point blank period. Flawed and all. Listen to me. Flawed and all. I don't know what it is that you want. I don't know what it is that you're trying to do. I don't know what it is that you're fighting. I don't know what your struggles are. I don't know what your flesh got you in bondage right now. Because a lot of us is just the flesh. A lot of us it's just that flesh that's got a hold of you in a way that you just feel like you can't break free. It's a lot of people who deal with that's in abusive relationships, whether it's physically or emotionally, that you've gotten to the point where they done made you insecure. You depressed, you feel you got anxiety, you got all of these issues that's going on. You're not as confident no more, and now you feel like you have to stay connected to this right here because you don't know how you're gonna operate outside of it. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I walked out of prison, my mind tried to convince me to just be plain and simple. I'm gonna tell you why. Listen, cause you know I'm gonna be transparent, right? I've had hair all my life. Dreads, braids, I've had hair all my life. The minute I cut my hair off, I started getting insecure. I was becoming less confident in my appearance. And in doing so, I realized a lot of times I wouldn't move around the way I would normally move around because of an insecurity. So when I walked out of prison after doing 10 years, listen, I took the hat off because this is a part of what I'm about to say. When I walked out of prison and didn't have my hair, when I walked out of prison after doing 10 years and feeling behind, I didn't feel like who I was. I didn't feel secure in my position, even when it came to me just having conversation. I felt behind because when I went to prison in 2007, I realized I was stuck with my memories from 2007. After about 3 years in prison, about 2010, I realized that. Hold on, I'm gonna finish, Kay. I realized that because now when I started calling people, them conversations started dumbing down because these people had started growing. They was in new relationships. They had went to new places. They had new experiences. And the only thing I had to relate on was what we done back in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. So by the time I'm getting ready to come home, my hair is gone. I don't have no money. I've always had it. I've always been popular, what we want to say. I've always had some kind of status. The Most High had broken me down. Listen to me. Seasons for everything. Go to Ecclesiastes. So you have to build down, and sometimes you have to tear down in order to build up. Because what was built up and what I believed, it had everything to do with my flesh. I was confident based on the money that I had that came from the streets. It had built up the flesh. I was cocky off of that money. The hair that I had, what I felt like that's what made me who I was. So cutting my hair off, I didn't feel like I was the same person no more. I had to learn how to love myself out of the love of the scripture, not the love of the world that I had once had. So by the time I'm getting ready to walk out of here, I don't know who I am no more. All I know is what I've studied in that word and what I'm about to come home and become. Listen to me. It was so hard. It was so hard when I walked out. Because I get around people and all I seen was what I was so familiar with. What I was so familiar with. Listen, I realized, but this is what I realized spiritually. This is what some of us have a problem with embracing. Spiritually, I'm stronger. I'm way further ahead. I'm more focused. I'm more disciplined. You'd rather compromise your focus, your discipline, your vision to dumb yourself down in order to be amongst people who don't even know who they are. Because you feel alone. Because I hadn't had a chance to experience it. By the time you have leveled up and you have grew and you have healed, the thing you have to understand is you have to get around people who reciprocate that. You have to get around the people who understand your vision, who understand who you've become. But when that takes too long to happen, what most people do is go back home. That's why a lot of people leave from where they are. And before you know it, they get lonely and they go back to their toxic environment. They go back to them toxic people. Listen to me. I got around women. I used to try myself. I'm going to be honest. I used to get around women that I know I used to could pull. And I didn't have the confidence to have the kind of conversation I used to have. I would sit around and wait to see if they was going to engage based on the appearance that I hadn't got comfortable with versus me engaging. I've always been engaging. And I realized I had to talk myself out of that. It was many times I looked in the mirror and was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what you doing? He was trying to put a hold on me. By the time I broke that off, we're gonna embrace who we are. We're going to embrace who we are. Point blank period. By the time I embraced who I am, this is who I am. This is what it is. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. Listen, what's the scripture? He said, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When he say don't be conformed to this world, it's talking about the worldly ways. This is what I had already understood. I had denounced and disagreed completely with the ways that this world works. I had disagreed with it completely. What I hadn't had is the experience yet. Sometimes you can quit doing certain things to yourself in isolation and not know if you really heal from it until you back into them environments. So even though I was preparing my mental, talking about my old habits, I hadn't been put in the environment to see if I had really got to that place. So by the time, what's up, my guy? So by the time I had got out and I got back around it, parts of me wanted to do them things. I started back hustling at one point in time for about 6 months. But in the 6 months of hustling, I realized I didn't have the same conscience. I didn't see it the same way. I didn't feel the same way about it. I was starting to embrace who I was. I kept saying, that ain't who I am. That ain't who I am. I kept saying, that ain't who I am. So by the time I kept saying that, I kept growing more into who I am. And when he say transform by the renewing of your mind, it means to form new ideas. I had to start forming them new ideas, how I seen myself, things that I'm going to do. I had to keep speaking them things into existence. Listen, I had to keep speaking them things into, it said life and death is in the power of the tongue. I believe it with all my heart. Because all my life, I rapped them music songs, I rapped them songs, I said them things, and before you know it, it got into my mind, it get into my spirit, and before you know it, some of it became my behavior. I reverse and do the same thing. Don't be conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I'm going to form these new ideas. I've never seen none of the men in my family married. I started saying, I'm going to be him. I've never seen the genuine love where it doesn't come in a form of feeling like there has to be an angle. It's a hidden agenda. I said, no, I'm going to become that person. I had to take them things out of my mind. I had to take out of my mind that you don't have to finesse and use your words and do this and do that to get over on somebody. Be who you are. Be honest. Be genuine. Let that be. Give them the choice. You don't have to do that, because I lived off survival. I've lived off survival. So now when I look at what the Most High has created in my life, I've done it all genuine. It ain't nobody that could tell you right now, Joe T got over me. I ain't got to. I used to feel like I had to. I don't have to. And once I seen that was working, it was cool. It was cool to me. And the biggest one of them all is when I watched the Most High do, listen, and this is facts, what I'm about to tell you. All the money I made selling dope, all the money I made taking people money, robbing, doing all of that. Listen, I watched the Most High when I walked away from that 2-year relationship, got that job, and that girl told me to get on TikTok. I went to sleep, woke up, sold over 200 some books. By that time, I started selling 1,000 books a month. Listen, in about 6 months of faithfulness, doing who he called me to be, working it, in a matter of 6 months, I watched the Most High give me more than I've ever had in the streets, ever. Not just that. I guarantee you, more than any of my homeboys that's in the streets too. Literally. I will guarantee you that. I will guarantee you. Hold on. I will guarantee you. And so when I say that, I say, listen, I say that in the most humble way. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm finna show you something. I got to, it's on my heart too. Like I was saying earlier, it's a lot of people I know that's working hard, trying to get to it, I promise you it's gonna come. I promise you it's gonna come. Hold on. So man, renewing my mind has been major. Continuing to work the gift is a constant thing too. To whom much is given, much is required. The more you work, I promise you, the more comes with it. You have to understand that. Listen, this is my YouTube $10.99 for last year. I don't know if you can see it. That's 229. That's 220. Listen what I'm gonna tell you. That's last year. That's just one. That's just one 1099. I'm saying this to encourage you. I ain't saying this to flex. I ain't saying this to be. That's one 1099. In a matter of being faithful for 6 months, I've watched him give me more than I've ever had. Not just this, not just the money. I've watched him give me everything I've ever prayed for. The money just helps me maneuver and continue to do kingdom business. I just know it's there. I just know it's there. I get paid off TikTok. I get paid off Facebook. I still sell books. I get paid off Instagram. I get paid off YouTube. Listen to me. I watch by being faithful. I ain't say perfect. Don been here since the beginning when this first happened. Listen what I'm going to say. I'm so appreciative for the people who have been genuine in watching me grow and still here. And they ain't got to a place of where they feel like they was responsible for my success. And they still support me and still watch, and they ain't said, oh, he done, so I'm gonna quit watching. I'm gonna quit liking videos. I'm gonna quit commenting. I'm gonna quit. Now he done. I appreciate them. And listen, I ain't never took my, I know my people. It come to a point sometimes in this journey where a lot of people who done supported you, they gonna walk away because they feel like they were genuine in the beginning to help you. But then when you exceed the expectations of where they thought you would go, then they feel some type of way. I've told many people, you never. That's just who I am. I don't have to. But it's a lot of people that I know that have been here from here to here, and they mean a lot. It really do. It really do. I ain't gonna lie. What you say? Any tips on how to do a part series? What you mean, fam? What kind of series? I remember, man, that's another thing, D. I'm telling you another thing I remember that keep me focused. Appreciate that, dog. I already know. I'm gonna tell you another thing to keep me focused. I don't want to go back. I ain't talking about the prison. I'm talking about the mindset. I refuse. I refuse to go back to that place. It ain't a person that's gonna come into my life and make me. Nah, I ain't gonna throw it away. I'm not gonna throw it away. What I mean by staying faithful, I'm thinking ministry parts. Okay, one sec. What I mean by staying faithful is consistency and understanding I'm doing it broken still, not churchy. I'm doing it vulnerable. I'm doing it imperfected. I'm faithful. He faithful when I'm not faithful. I don't beat up on myself when I fall. I understand that I have to keep going. Sanctification removes the power and the growth of sin. Let me put it like that. Sanctification removes the power and the growth of sin. So the thing that keeps me faithful is seeing the growth, not focusing on the shortcoming. Because when I make a comparison to who I was to who I am now, I know the shortcomings now it's nowhere near who I was before I started walking with him. So I continue to, that's one reason I know I continue to stay faithful, because I've watched the change happen in my life that I know that the word say. I have no issue with. I'm open. I don't want to be the pastor, the preacher, the bishop that if he called me to do so, then that's what it is. But when he called me to do it, I'll do it the way I know he's allowed me to do it. I won't get up here and do all of this, and then when something goes wrong, you need to get a PA to get out here and you apologizing and saying that because I'm just a man. I'm just a man. I ain't saying like a man as far as gender. I'm human flesh. I'm no different than anybody else. And that's another reason why, you know what I'm saying, when it come to giving the benefit of the doubt, I can get a benefit of the doubt and be understanding and be sympathetic. I'm hard on people that I love and care about because, for one, I'm hard on myself. I don't push nobody to do nothing that I wouldn't push myself to do. And I know all of our stories have a lot of pain and trauma and hurt. So I know all of us, you know what I'm saying, we done been through what we've been through. How do we get past that and make some of it? That's where I'm at. So yeah, man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I don't feel the king speaking no more, so I'm done. But yeah. I have to be. That's a part of faithfulness. That's a part of the faithfulness, Mika. It's a part of being real. It's a part of being real. That don't scare me neither. They don't scare me. You know, I was taught a long time that masculinity couldn't be in the same conversation as being sensitive or being emotional. That's a lie. I had no problem with crying. I had no problem with expressing myself. I had no problem with telling the truth. Like, it's just what it is. That's true strength to me. Yeah. And it is what it is, and that's just how we rocking. But I don't feel led to speak no more. So I'm gonna get up off here. If you ain't been praying, man, say your prayers. Stay connected, and keep seeing it through. Keep seeing it through. It's been a blessing, man. Y'all hold it down.